Hey guys, I'm Shay, and today I'm going to be wrapping up this month in books for me and introducing my TBR pile for February. Alright, so before I get to any of that, I just wanted to take a minute to thank everybody who has subscribed. I've made it past 100 subscribers, and I know that's not like a whole bunch, but for me, it's really cool. So I'm going to do the 100 subscribers happy dance. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the books that I read in January. So the first book I read this month was Strands of Bronze and Gold by Jane Nickerson. This one is a retelling of Bluebeard, and I actually started this, I think, an hour before midnight on New Year's Eve. But I still think it counts. I actually really loved this book, and it was actually a great segue into reading the Lux series because they're both historical fiction, and I've never really read historical fiction before. But I really liked this book. I thought it was a really good one. So the next book I read actually wasn't on my TBR list, but it's Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I got this one in the mail, I think New Year's Eve, and I really wanted to read it, so I just pushed the rest of my books aside and read this one. It was actually pretty quick. I think I got it done in like a day, and it was really creepy and really cool. And I really loved how throughout it it's supposed to look like an IKEA catalog, if you haven't noticed. And throughout it there are like these diagrams and descriptions of different furniture, and they're pretty normal at first, but throughout the book they get really creepy and they end up being like torture devices, which is really weird. And I didn't actually even notice it at first, but then suddenly I was like, wait a second, this isn't normal. And I don't know, it was just a really cool book. I'm glad that I added it to the pile. But since I added it, that means that I read 8 books this month, so that's one less that I have to read next month. So after Horror Store, I read Ensnared by A.G. Howard. This is the final book in the Splintered series, and I did a review on it, so I'll link that below if you guys want to check it out. I loved how this series ended. I'll just leave it at that, and I'll just say that it was amazing. So after Ensnared, I got back into historical fiction. I read the entire Lux series by Anna Godberson, and this actually took me a while. Each one is like over 400 pages or almost 400 pages. So that's like 1,600 pages right here, and I still am baffled that an author can come up with 1,600 pages worth of story, but I'm going to be doing a review on this whole series later, so check back for that. I will say though that this was a really great series. And finally on my TBR list is my TBR Jar Challenge book, and that is I Boy by Kevin Brooks. And I'm actually still reading this, but it's the 29th right now. It's 29th of January. I still have 3 more days, and I feel like I can do it. So by the time this video is up, I will have this book done. And as of right now, I think the fact that I've been reading mostly historical fiction this month has kind of ruined me for other books, so I don't really have an opinion on it yet, but I will, and hopefully it's a good one. Alright, so that completes my read books for January. That puts me at 8 right now out of the 75, and I think, according to Goodreads, I'm like 3 books ahead of schedule, so hopefully I can keep up that momentum. And now I'm going to be introducing to you my TBR pile for February. So since I read so much historical fiction last month, I'm going to try and steer away from that this month. So the first book that I'm actually going to be reading this month is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and like I've said in the past, I've heard so many good things about this book that I just really wanted to read it and find out what all the hype was about. I do want to keep trying to complete as many series as I can this year, so next up I'm going to be marathoning the Theater Illuminata trilogy, I think that's what it's called, by Lisa Manchev. Those are not in order. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to be marathoning these 3 books. Eyes Like Stars, Perchance to Dream, and So Silver Bright. And now that I think of it, I don't know what time period these are, so maybe these are actually historical fiction books. So much for that idea. Although they are fantasy, so I guess it's kind of a merge between 2 genres. So they just look really cool, and the plot seems really cool, so I'm excited to get started on these. The next book on my TBR is a little bit different. It's called The Boundless, and it is by Kenneth Opel. This book, I heard more on BookTube about this than anywhere else, but it looks really cool, and I think it looks like it could be a middle grade book, but I'm not really sure. It's about this kid that rides on this train, and a murder happens and he sees it, and so then he's trying to solve the murder and try and escape the murderer because the murderer knows that he saw. So this looks really cool. It's like a mystery, but also I think it has some elements of fantasy in it possibly, so I guess we'll see how I like this one. And finally, all that is left to do now is to draw from my TBR jar. So let's do it. And again, I really hope it's not the 500-page one. Although, I have read 1,600 pages of the same series, so maybe 500 pages isn't as daunting anymore. I guess we'll find out. Alright, can you see it? A book written by someone under 30. So let me now consult my bookcase and see if I have any books by authors under 30. I don't know how old any of these people are. Must do some research. How about a rainbow rowel? Not rainbow towel. She looks older, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, she's older. Ooh, Victoria Schwab is 25. I'm going with it. So according to the interwebs, Victoria Schwab is 25. I don't know when that was posted. It could have been posted 5 or 6 years ago, but I'm just going to go with it. So I am going to read The Archived by Victoria Schwab. And I have heard so many good things about this book, and it just looks like a really cool story and a really cool concept, so I'm definitely going to add this to my TBR pile for February. So this is my TBR pile for February, and it is going to be awesome. And I am so excited to get started on this. So there you go. So thank you all for watching my video, and also thank you to everybody who has subscribed again. I am so excited to have reached 100 subscribers, and hopefully that will expand tenfold over the years until I have so many. Here's hoping. Yay, so excited. I'm a cheerleader right now for some reason. Rah rah spoomba. Yay, books and stuff. Also, since I did get so many subscribers, I'm going to be doing a really fun video. I'm going to be shooting it here in a couple days, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so stay tuned. Have a good night, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Get in focus. There it is. Ensnared. Sorry. Hairball. Lux series by Anna Godberson. That would be... Oh, they're out of order. Oh, no, they're not. They're in order. Normally on my TBR pile... Why do they say pile?